It'll be Avant and Rooster to start the day off here for day number 2 of DreamHack Open Summer as we dive into a very big month of Counter-Strike for ANZ. And a lot of storylines to break down heading into not only this tournament but many more for the rest of the month. To start things off, obviously Avant have got that roster change. They brought Hugh in, saw a great game yesterday by Rooster, although they did lose to Renegades. So now it's crunch time, fellas. Obviously we do have to throw our predictions in here. I think we've all sort of alluded to what our thoughts on this matchup might be, but let's start to break it down. I'll go with you first, Pilski, because you're going to be the first one that'll pop up on this graphic, apart from me, but what does my opinion matter? What do you reckon about this matchup?
Yeah, today was a really tough day of predictions, to be honest. I feel like these matchups could really go either way, but I have to go with the stats. You know, you can't predict for a team that's consistently lost against the same opponent time and time again, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Rooster actually upset here, but we'll see how it all shakes out, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I've gone for Rooster as my prediction, as you can see there on the screen, because I was very impressed with how they played yesterday, and I'm always one to expect an upset. Like, I love to see an upset, and happily would like to see one today.
Yeah, I guess I would love to see one as well. I don't know that Avant would be particularly keen on that one. They certainly started slow yesterday. That's not going to be something that they'll be able to afford it today. I've also gone for Avant. I think, you know, I'm always the kind of person that tends to lean towards the favorites, lean towards the safe pick, and in this instance, that of course is going to be Avant, but I'm well prepared to be proven wrong as we head into Mirage, which will be map number 1 for today and for this series. A big one, of course, for Rooster and Avant, as this is an elimination match, and we do kick things off on Rooster's map pick. Hopefully, they'll be able to get that ball rolling pretty nicely indeed.
Yeah, and look, starting on the CT side of Avant, they are probably going to have the advantage here. However, Rooster, they are going quite quickly over towards A main. It seems looking to go for the AXE 3-man here on the defense, though. Could be costly.
Be costly indeed. Sterling and Blitz just posted on the A bomb site for now. Hazard's playing that float role, keeping an eye on mid, but he'll get the info that there's some offense headed in the direction of A. Sterling starts very nicely indeed, already turning his form around. Hazard's chiming in with one from Sandwich, but that's Danny G's location now. Not too long for him at all, and that's a 3K for Sterling. Obviously a good start for Avant, getting the pistol around, and what's even more impressive is Sterling being able to start things off on the right foot today, and that's definitely something that we'll be keeping an eye on. Yeah,
the 3K from Triple as well, you could see that he probably wasn't supposed to be taking the contact there, but then he just went out off the back of a beautiful flash coming in from Hazard, and as you can see, 2 quick ones as well as the final. It was a very beautiful hold there over on the A site. Now we do see 2 M4s purchased up, a Famous for Hazard, SMG for Humongous, and another Famous over there for Blitz. And over towards Rooster, they've gone for the Force by a couple of Deagles and the Hero AK to Chelios, who's gone out mid and lost it in the first couple of seconds of the round.
Yeah, that's not going to work too nicely for Rooster, though. They did have quite a bit of success yesterday with that Hero AK against Renegades, and it was predominantly in the hands of Chelios. This time, though, a bit more of an individualistic kind of a play from him, and Sterling is looking sharp right now. Blitz, much the same, a triple, and that'll be that. Very nicely cleaned up by Avant, not losing a single gun. They'll get the AK out of it as well, so big upgrades for Avant.
Yeah, 3 quick kills there with the 25 bullet mag, not too bad coming out from Big Blitz. And as we head into the third, Rooster are just going to go for a light buy, upgrade a couple of pistols, maybe some extra armor. Oh, 80k down to 1200, that's a big investment. Looks like they are just going to try and maybe get another round on the board because they've gone for the full half investment. This is a really weird buy coming out. Maybe just hoping to get that plant down.
Yeah, it's kind of what Pilski's talking about. You know, sometimes the economy management from Rooster is a little bit off kilter, maybe not what you would necessarily expect. I'm not going to go so far as to say it's necessarily wrong, because they may still end up going on to win this round, but it seems Avant have a good idea of what Rooster is going to throw at them. They've got a lot of players over toward this B bomb site, and yes, they do lose one. A-Pot goes down pretty early. Nice entry frag coming out from ASAP, but there's no concerns at all there for Avant. And look, I've got to be honest, Avant is looking far, far better than they did yesterday as far as I'm concerned. Already 3 rounds in.
Yeah, so just coming in with confidence and kicking things off strong. But again, Rooster, now they are going to be slightly lacking in that utility. Even Chelios has to go for just the Kevlar, no helmet, which may be a factor, you know, up against these M4s. The Famous is still in the mix as well. Humongous, he's going to go for the AWP. So has he got a spawn for somewhere? No, he's just going to be taking that over to B as he's playing their solo for the moment. Looks like it's going to be heavy mid presence from the CTs. Blitz going on an adventure through unders. Might find some contact here.
Well, Sterling's going to back him up as well. Blitz looks like he's got the timing completely wrong, but is ADK aware of Sterling? Well, if ADK wasn't, Nedic was, and it's all on Hugh now. We have to see the reason why he has taken this up. Normally, that'd be in the hands of Sterling, but already not a bad start for Hugh. He'll force Rooster away from the B-apps.
Now with that bomb being spotted, there hasn't been a huge rotation, but as you can see, APOC has made his way into Palace, so AVANT now able to play for retake at A, as APOC is going to be able to get a whole bunch of information going this deep, clearing out a main. And then with that control, might just be able to deny the plant from here. But Hazard might have heard this boost. No, doesn't. As he comes through the crawl space, Danny G gets a nasty shot. And it's going to be a 2v4 as Rooster take the A side.
I wonder whether or not AVANT will probably just look to save here. Seems like that round was just one that you can put down to a bit of bad luck. I mean, Blitz turning away at the wrong time. He just goes down for free to A. Oh, hang on. APOC, no care in the world. Danny G and Chelios down. ASAP's going to plant the bomb, but APOC should get one more here. How's that happened? ASAP clean. And Hugh finds himself in a 2-on-1. Rooster probably still able to salvage from here.
Yeah, there's a chance. But Hugh with the AWP, let's see what he has. It's a matter of timing, and unfortunately not going to hard clear that corner. Nedic from stairs will shut down the round, and Rooster pick up their first 1-3.
What a crazy round that was, really.
Yeah, APOC just going on a solo mission, denied the plant, got himself a second, and certainly had the chance to find ASAP there over towards default, but unfortunately just dropped the ball at the wrong moment. But that's some big damage to Rooster's economy as well.
Yeah, definitely not too bad. AVANT should have enough to buy through back into this round. APOC certainly helping things out. A couple of kills for him there. This time the AWP goes into the hands of Sterling, which I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable about. He is mollied off at window. Won't be able to do too much for now. And Rooster again over towards the B-bomb site.
Yeah, they're just posturing, looking for any early picks here, but it's just going to be util thrown towards the back of apartments. It's Hugh. Just has that Famous to hold. He's used all of his utility already. But again, Hazard, he's gone on an adventure through PAL. They have all the information in the world. They can start to show a bit more presence, maybe towards the B site, but it seems like they're very worried about a boost in window, something over here. There it is, Sterling makes his rotation, and Hugh needs his support up on the balcony.
It's a good rotation from AVANT. They're really reading Rooster at the moment. Hugh, very well done to start things off, and a fair bit more damage over to ADK from him as well, which helps APOC finish off the final kill. It's just Chelios left, and that's 4-1. Pretty routine round, really, for AVANT. You know, they just read the situation, they rotate that extra player across to the B bomb site, and there's one too many men for Rooster to deal with on the entry.
Yeah, so it seems like Palace is a point of weakness at the moment for Rooster. They're just not going for that default, just heavy presence over towards the back of apartments. And AVANT, they realise this, and they're just gaining all the information in the world there over towards the A site, able to stack the B site and make that one look easy. But as we head into round number 6, Rooster, they're back on the pistols, back on the half bite. It looks like AVANT should be right as rain to take a 5th, but let's see what Rooster can do on the pistols.
They weren't too bad with the pistols yesterday. Sterling does miss a couple of shots with the AWP. Not gonna be too concerned with that third, but Chelios posted on the line, waiting for him to strafe across. The scout finding himself 1 kill. Not a huge concern just yet for AVANT. Blitz is there. So is APOC, but Chelios is starting to get warmed up a little bit with the scout now. It is a 2-on-3. The way Chelios is hitting these headshots, can't count them out just yet.
Very dangerous indeed. Bomb still down at the top of mid, though, as ADK starts to try and make some noise there at A main. He's baited out some extra utility. But Hugh over towards short with the AWP. Should be pretty strong. And as you can see as well, APOC just on 67 HP, 1 body tag with the scout there should mop him up as well. So this could go back to a 2v2 in a matter of moments, especially with APOC here at the top of con. Is Chell expecting this? No, he's not. And there it is, 1v3 now. Let's see if ADK is able to get the trade. No. Timing, not in his favour this time. And Hazard, fortunate to have his life there. The Deagle spam was a bit too quick from ADK, and AVANT solidify themselves in the lead by 4 rounds.
Yeah, 5-1, looking pretty good at the moment. They've got the double AWP as well, so that seems like something that Hugh is really looking forward to, and looking to try and pick up quite a lot. You know, I've already seen that one round that he already played with the AWP, and now taking the second AWP here as well for AVANT. I don't really recall Chiefs when Hugh was on that roster leaning towards the double AWP all that often. Nor do I necessarily recall AVANT actually leaning towards the double AWP all that often. But maybe this is sort of a new look for AVANT.
I remember seeing Blitz pick it up a few times.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it wasn't like Order where any chance almost that they could get, they would go into the double AWP.
Yeah, 100%. Well,
given that AVANT have gone for it so early on in this map, I wonder if it's something that they're actually trying to look for a little bit more often now.
Well, Hugh looked good on it before. Let's see if he can do some extra damage. Oh, that should be a free one for Sterling, but at least it's the free information. Blitz still going toe-to-toe. Cops a bink for his troubles, but fortunately will survive.
Yeah, you'll take it.
And off the back of this, you can see with the Palinade main control, we are going to see that bomb rotate all the way back towards A, and it should be a 3v2 over towards the A site, favouring Rooster. But let's see if they make their move before APOC adventures back towards mid here.
APOC's actually going on an adventure toward A. It'll be Sterling to hold mid-window. A little bit of a creep coming through from Palace, 80k hanging around there. All the utility being expended by AVANT is actually perfectly timed. This is going to put Rooster in a bit of an awkward situation where they do have to walk through that smoke or stay behind it. That's a good shot from Sterling. And already another player rotating across the bomb site for AVANT. They again continue to put themselves in the right position before Rooster executes, and it's just making life so difficult for this T side.
And you can see that Danny G just had full control of mid, was hoping to cause a bit of chaos there, maybe catch someone rotating aggressively through mid, but with 10 seconds remaining, there's not a lot he can do, and Sterling will trade him out there. So 3 alive at the end of the round for AVANT again, and that's going to be a 5-round lead already as we head into round number 8.
Well, double AWP persists. It's just pistols this time for Rooster. They have shown a tendency to head toward the B bomb site when they have had a buy like this already in this matchup, and it seems like they're headed in that direction again. A couple of smokes, a few flashes, so expecting something pretty quick, but this is a nice setup for AVANT. Hugh just on the line, gets the first, and now it's APOC's duty to find a couple more, or at least slow things down. Only a 1-for-1 for APOC, and in the meanwhile, Hugh kind of got run over by the Deagles. It's actually thrown a bit of a spanner in the works for AVANT.
And this B site is going to be a little bit hard to retake as well. There is some extra utility for Rooster to play with. Danny G in a very strong position here. That smoke's going to be utilised over towards the door, and it looks like AVANT, you want to try to funnel through window, but they're just waiting for Blitz to come in through short, try to gain some extra information at range. But Chell, with this AWP that he has retrieved, is looking dangerous. Another molly over towards window. This is going to buy us so much extra time, and now Blitz, he needs this info, but it's all a matter of timing. Hazard goes straight out. He's standing in that Molotov. It's going to be Nedic to take Hazard down, and with that pick, you can see AVANT, they are happy just to keep the AWP and M4 alive. Sterling will find one on the exit, but that's about all that AVANT will get in the round as Rooster take their second.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate for AVANT, to be honest. I think that started off perfectly for them. Hugh gets that first shot. Yep. They're all running at him. APOC's posted on the line. You'd expect to get at least one more from APOC and probably at least one more from Hugh as well, but both of them go down for free, and that's what allows Rooster into the bomb site. And all of a sudden, you overwhelm it 3-on-3, pick up a couple of guns, and that's how quickly the round can turn back on its head. It's not the end of the world for AVANT, but it does mean that they're going to have to go back to the single AWP, so they do have that deficit at least, and the money's starting to get low. So pretty critical if AVANT wants to continue this momentum that they do pick it up again here in this round.
And look at this aggressive play from Hazard, just trying to gaze through the top of the molly. That's very aggressive. Cops the bink onto Chell, but he is going to go down for his troubles. And now Blitz just going to use some utility, try and buy some extra time, because there's no one at CT to stop this push out A main. However, Rooster didn't accelerate here, so they've missed their gaping hole, I guess, and it looks like it's going to be Blitz trying to hold close under balcony. APOC gets his way into sight.
I think what's crucial to watch here is how that rotation comes from AVANT. They've not decided to push, they're just going for a standard rotation, and they might just be a little bit too late on said rotation. It's a 2-on-4. Hugh and Sterling. Sterling trying to peek over the top of this smoke, doesn't actually see too much. And this will again probably be just a save situation for AVANT. What I have liked watching, well, actually Hugh managed to grab Nedic, so that's kind of kept them a a little bit interested here. If Sterling sees one more up there in Palace, I thought he might have actually spotted the shoulder of ADK, but perhaps not.
No, I think it's been called.
Oh,
Now, that nade, that's huge. All right, back to the 2-on-2 in a matter of seconds.
Sterling
Smoke as well. This is going to potentially upset Rooster. They're in solid position, but Sterling unable to hit the shot. That's going to be another one. Hugh off the bomb, taps it again, but it's going to be the knife for ADK. 3 on the board now for Rooster, as that one got a little bit scary.
Yeah, it seemed to get a little bit messy in the end there for AVANT. Either way, Rooster does pick the round up. What I did want to talk about was that AVANT, normally when they've been seeing a bomb site hit come in, they've already had a player rotating off the other bomb site, you know, pushing aggressively, pushing through Palace, pushing through B-Apps or something like that. Oh. Not the case in that round. They did actually take a little bit longer to go for that sort of aggressive push, and so maybe Rooster is starting to get to them a little bit. That's an economy reset for AVANT as well, and what was a 6-1 scoreline has very quickly tumbled away, and this is probably looking at a 6-4 now.
Well, that was a nice little positioning from Blitz, knowing exactly where that smoke was going to come from. Jumps out mid, and unfortunately not going to be able to do too much against the rampaging Mac 10 from Danny G there, who is just clearing out mid with that extra movement speed that the SMG provides. Finds himself a second as Sterling trades it. But that Mac 10 is going to be no use up against the rifles, up against Rooster, which have completely encapsulated that A site.
Not a whole lot that AVANT can really do about it with just pistols. Chelios, a bit of aim prac here. Trying to hit the head that's bouncing up and down. Whack-a-mole style. No such luck this time. It's kind of nice to see Rooster having a bit more of an impact in this game. I thought AVANT was really just going to run away with it when they were up 6-1. I thought, oh dear. Might see a pretty quick first map. It seems like Rooster aren't prepared to go down without a fight.
Oh, and AVANT as well, looking like they're just going to try to find maybe an extra gun here. Yes, just get ADK out. And it's going to be the bomb to finish off APOC. But look, good economy damage, I guess. In the end, ADK and Danny G, they're going to have to be evened out a little bit with their repurchase. But still, they should be able to buy even if they lose another round. And we're looking at a situation now that if AVANT lose this round, Rooster could tie this game up quick smart.
Definitely a lot resting on this round. It's not a perfect buy for AVANT. Hazza has to go down to a FAMAS, and there's a distinct lack of utility here for them as well, particularly over toward the B bomb side. It's just Hugh holding. He's only got one smoke, and Blitz is caught pushing mid. Already looking pretty bad for AVANT. Rooster is going to accelerate on the B bomb site as well. I'm not sure Hugh's going to have his buddies here to help him out in time. Luckily, APOC does just get out of the market, but he hasn't managed to find that second frag, which is going to be so instrumental here for AVANT. Luckily, Sterling's got one, but APOC, too many options. This is really going to have to be Sterling's round. He's been spotted by Chelios. There's a 2-on-2, and there's another one for him. Now Hazza finds himself in the 1-on-1, but Chelios hits the shot, as he is always capable of doing, clutching the round out. And that's a huge one for Rooster. AVANT back to a reset.
You can see that he had the read on essentially where everyone was and did such a great job there with the AWP. But Sterling certainly kept Rooster guessing for a moment. Just taking the perfect time to make his way out to MBK. But Chell there at the bench just dishing out the damage. And again, as we head back in, it is going to be a quick old pause. As AVANT now, the economy still crumbling. They do have the max round loss bonus as Rooster have now put 4 on in a row.
Yeah, starting to become a bit of a head scratcher for AVANT, isn't it? It seems that neither bomb site is really a stronghold either. You know, Rooster have had success on A, they've had success on B. They haven't really explored mid all that much. They haven't really pressured that, but they've at least stopped AVANT from pressuring with mid. So it just seems like whatever AVANT kind of tries to throw at Rooster right now is not working. And everything that Rooster's doing is coming up with the goods. So I wonder where AVANT do turn from here. Don't have money, of course, so maybe stack a bomb site, hope to get a bit lucky.
I guess we will find out shortly. 2 Deagles, 3 Deagles rather purchased up. Make it a 4th. Are we going to go all 5, or is Sterling going to save for the AWP? Looks like with his 16-5 KD at the moment, he is actually going to pick up a Deagle as well. 5 Deagles. So anything could happen for Avant this round.
Well, if nothing else, at least Sterling is back in action for Avant.
Uh-huh.
So that'll be a win condition that will persist over the course of today and the rest of this tournament.
Ooh, early leg onto Hazza. He's very fortunate to be alive, but the nade is going to seal the deal, and Blitz is in a rough position. Great trade coming out from Chell, who makes his way to the top of Tetris, trying to figure out the puzzle, but Sterling there still in a good position. ASAP fully aware that he's over towards triple now. Spotted him moving. Oh, big shot, and almost a second, but coming in from the top is the trade there. Yes, it is. It's Danny G versus Hugh.
Hugh knows exactly where Danny G is well. This could be winnable. It was so close. Danny G's on 19 HP. That was a little bit too close for comfort for Rooster. Great shooting from Hugh and from Sterling and Blitz. Avant almost managed to pull one over the line. I mean, they almost deserve it, right? Rooster won around like that, pistols and armor. You know, just to make things even, Avant should be able to pick one up as well, and then we're back where we probably ought to have been. But no such luck this time for Avant. Now the discussion probably, given that Hugh hasn't bought, is are we going double AWP again?
Well, the real discussion we need to have is Rooster are now at breaking point. So Chell obviously has 10k. He's going to spend about 6 if he goes for that AWP again. ASAP might be able to buy into the next, but the other 3, they're pretty cooked at this point. So you might be looking at pistol armor if they lose another round. And they don't have many more in the first half to play with. So Avant, this round, extremely crucial for them to do as much economical damage as possible, but also take it. Well, where are we going to see Rooster head? 3 over towards top mid now. Mid smoke coming through, and Avant with a more aggressive play. Mollied off there at Con Hugh. Will be sent packing.
Well, this is quite a bit more presence from Rooster into mid on the gun round than what we've seen so far. Establishing control there. Avant have gambled an extra player over toward the B bomb site, but no commitment just yet from Rooster.
Bit of noise being made by Danny. He's in a very rough position here. Could be filtered out in a matter of seconds. But APOC goes back to Van. Oh, one step backwards and he gets a free kill. There it is, but Danny not going to be able to survive that one.
Yeah, survives longer than I thought he would, to be fair. Big loss for Rooster. Look at the information that Hazard's going to be able to gather here up in Palace. Even if he doesn't stop them from walking into A, it's just such a good crossfire angle for him to come out late on the retake from.
And no one's going to filter out Palace as well, so Avant happily with the man advantage going to be able to fully play retake for A hit. As Rooster just contacting their way through. Sterling about to get on the line though. So jungle's completely dirty, but Avant, they're happy to play this style of gameplay. Oh.
Hazard goes a little bit early. Sterling missing a shot here as well. There's a chance for Rooster to just walk into the bomb site now. Chelios is planting the bomb. APOC tries to get aggressive, tries to do something fancy, but doesn't work out too nicely for him this time. Double AWP retake for Avant is not going to be too kind on them. Blitz will have to do a lot of work here, and so far can't do much. Chelios drops in sandwich. Oh, now there's a chance. Avant continue to put frags on the board, but it's a 2-on-2, and what remains is both of the AWPs. Hugh hasn't spotted the player in connector ASAP. Nowhere else really to be. Everything else has been cleared out. Now's the chance, and that is that. Great work from Avant. A 3-on-4 retake with 2 AWPs. It's not something you would have expected them to pull out of the hat, but a really, really important round, and they've gotten it done.
Yeah, it's not often you see the double AWP retake work out too well, but Hugh just doing some great work there. I think Sterling picked one off on the cover as he posted over towards the top of Tetris, and ASAP had a big job to do, got himself in a rough position, had to swing pretty wide there knowing he was up against a couple of AWPs, and there it is. Avant maintain the lead and their economy won't be cracked. However, once we get back into the game, we'll have a look how Roosters is going, because I think Chell might be on like 12k, drop a couple of AKs across, going into the second last round of the half, and there it is. So 2 Galils brought up, 2 AKs, and an AWP to play with. And it's going to be mid-control, but Sterling going toe-to-toe and finds a dirty smoke bank.
Great work from Sterling. He certainly is putting up a statement after the questions we asked yesterday. Netic and Danny G are the only remainders for Rooster. And now the half shifts back in the favor of AVANT. I mean, this is where that teetering point has been flipped back into AVANT's favor. Looking at a 9-6 now. Danny G does clean Sterling up quite nicely. Galil, best gun, apparently. Medic's also gotten one with the Galil, so hang on. Don't count any chickens before they hatch. Otherwise, they might turn into a Rooster.
AVANT won't be able to buy into the next as well if they lose this one, but a 2v5. You would not expect to see it, not against a team of the caliber of AVANT. But positioning-wise, they are in some good spots now. Again, Hazard just going for that adventure into Palace, making sure that he gets all the information in the world. But it's contact up short, and wait, was Hugh not spotted? They didn't... All right.
Wow.
Dealt with him. And there it is, 2v2 now. Surely Netic and Danny G, the dream team, can they do this?
2 on 5.
Crazy.
They might just be able to. Apoc's got a HE nade, but that's not enough to net a kill. Medic's upgraded. They're both going to stack in toward market. Not too much time here for AVANT, but luckily they've got a couple of kits available as well, working their way up short. The flash goes into the site, but doesn't blind anyone. Oh. Netic, great shot onto Apoc. I think it's going to happen, Mac. A 1-on-2 now for Hazard. And Netic has really just opened this round up for Rooster.
Ooh, bomb's not necessarily planted for market, though. We'll see what Hazard can do, but he's just running out of time. Finds the first. Yeah, he's not going to be touching this one with a 10-foot pole. Backing out on short, and there it is. Netic and Danny G get this one done. 2v5.
Wow.
And Netic with the quad in the end. That was a nasty round. And AVANT's economy is going to be trash for the final round of the half.
Well, never mind what I was talking about, 9-6. What is that?
Yeah.
This is an 8-7 half, and it's now starting to lean toward Rooster. Those are the big plays that we had hoped to see from someone like Netic. That's why he was one of the highlighted players going into this series. He's continuing his form, his good form from yesterday. And AVANT just crumbling in a 5-on-2. What implications does that have for the rest of this map, and perhaps even for the rest of this series? Wait and see. Apoc down early in mid. Chelios this time winning that duel. And Rooster are going to go quick.
Every day of the week. Danny G cracking this one open just with a Mach 10. Look, the economy wasn't in the greatest of ways for Rooster either, but as you can see, they've gone for the path of least resistance. And now in a 5v3. Let's see if AVANT can do it with the extra man in their hand. Nade over to Blitz. We'll tickle him down, but they need to get out of market, and that's going to be the problem here.
Bit of an up and down half here for both teams, but I think Rooster's going to be quite happy if they can get away with the 8-7. 3 players left for them to find. Although Danny G makes the footstep and Blitz spams him through the smoke. It's not looking too kind for Rooster at the moment. Hazard will be the linchpin, and having seen him fall to Chelios, I think the round is probably over, and indeed it is. Really backwards and forwards half. No idea who's going to come out with a victory on Mirage, but that is the first half done and dusted. 8-7 the way of Rooster. Welcome back to DreamHack Open Summer. Scoreline is 8-7 favouring Rooster as we head into the second half now. We do have a little bit of a pause. There's an issue in the server right now going into this second half. So we're going to bring this back to the desk, have a little bit of a chat about that first half. We've got Pilski here, so it'll be good to hear your opinions on that first half. Certainly felt to Mac and myself that was really one way and then the other way, and then could have really gone either way, and sort of in line with what you were talking about yesterday with Rooster being quite a streaky team.
Yeah, I think a lot of these rounds, it feels like there's a lot of clutch rounds. There's a lot of rounds that are being turned on their heads, you know, from XVX situations, you know, some uncharacteristic mistakes being made from time to time, you know, maybe just being a little bit too lax in certain situations and letting things get away from you on both sides. So we've ended up in a situation where it's a very, very even half, all things considered, and I think we'll have to see how the next one goes. Now AVANT moving on to the attacking side.
Yeah, anything that's worrying you a little bit, Mac, at the moment for either of these teams, or is it sort of smooth sailing?
I think I'm just a bit worried for AVANT because we're supposed to see this like great chemistry coming through, and we did for the first 6 rounds, 7 rounds, whatever it was. But then Rooster just managed to figure it out, or AVANT overextended. I'm not sure what exactly the problem was, but the fact that Netic and Danny G won a 2v5 there towards the end, that was such a crucial mistake from AVANT.
It certainly seemed like things really flipped on their head on that one round where Rooster was sort of rushed into the B site with just the pistols. That's I think the tipping point for that half. I mean, that's the difference between AVANT running away with more rounds and Rooster starting to come back into the swing of things. I sort of thought I noticed maybe a little bit going on there with Hugh, where, you know, some of those clutch situations that he was in, or some of the positions that he was putting himself in, he didn't seem all that comfortable. Like if you recall when in that I think it was the 2v5, he was sort of just holding the apartments line with the AWP. There was the 2-on-2 where Hugh and Sterling were trying to retake the bomb site, and I just thought, like, it seemed like they didn't know who was going to get on the bomb and who was going to watch the contest. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading a little bit too much into it, but how do you guys sort of feel that this roster is kind of meshing together? Is it still got a ways to go? Or?
Yeah, it's still a work in progress. It's a new one, and I think Rooster definitely has that chemistry. They've been playing together for a while. I think they're winning a fair few of the clutches and rounds that you wouldn't expect them to win. I think if AVANT are playing a little bit more streamlined, they're going to have an easier time, but that's what happens sometimes when you're playing against Rooster. You know, even if they aren't like a top 3 team or anything like that, they're streaky, and they have these players that can pop off and turn absolutely ridiculous situations around, even against very, very good players. And that's what you saw there. Even like a 2v5 should never be allowed to happen, but the way that they moved around, they found the gaps in the defense, and they were able to exploit them and you know, win a round that they shouldn't be allowed to.
Yeah, I think there was another round as well where Chelios won that 1v2 when he was at bench, and you know, I assumed that they knew roughly where he should have been because Sterling spotted him trying to get on that angle. So I think Hazard was trying to like swing on bench, and then, I don't know, maybe just a bit of miscommunication. But Hazard had a bit of a shocking first half. I was speaking about him needing to be on fire for AVANT to be performing, and I think he only got 4 kills in the whole half. So bit of a slow start, but maybe he's just waiting to get on the attack to really shred up.
Well, what are we looking at as far as, you know, who's your favourite going into the second half of Mirage here? Because it seems like it's kind of hanging in the balance. But, you know, you think about Sterling getting how many frags he did. I don't know what he ended up on. Just under 20, I think, for that first half. And yet, AVANT have only gotten 7 rounds. I mean, it's on one hand, it's like it's good to see that coming back with Sterling as an individual, but AVANT don't seem to be quite benefiting from it regardless.
I've seen AVANT have a bit of a struggle on the T side of Mirage a couple of times, even going back to that grand final when they played Renegades. Then yesterday when we saw them against Order, they seemed a little bit lost, like only APOC was sort of digging them through some difficult situations. And I know that Rooster can actually be really sick on the CT side of Mirage. I've seen them go 13-2 on CT side Mirage against teams that are around their level. Yeah. So it's a dangerous territory. You could see AVANT dropping Mirage here, but at the same time, if they rally, if they get things together, they have the potential to be able to drag themselves through this difficult time. I think it's going to come down to the first couple of rounds. If Rooster gets really comfortable with that CT economy, they get that AWP on Chelios and he's just playing around that A site, they're going to be a lot harder to stop. But if AVANT can sort of disrupt things a little bit, maybe break their economy, they should have a good run of things.
Yeah, it's not just going to be, I guess, the A site for Chelios. I thought we saw him be very dynamic yesterday on the CT side with his AWPing. He was all over the place. So that's something that we'll have to keep an eye on as well. I mean, Sterling certainly seems a good match for him, but we know moving on to the T side, things can change up. What's your take on this, Mac? Are we going to be seeing another close half?
Oh, like, I hope so, because, you know, we all here on the desk love a bit of overtime on Mirage. Let's
Don't say
we do.
that word.
Rooster
I've
and
said the
overtime
word.
on Mirage, and Hugh was in that game as well. That
Yeah.
would be a lot of the original offenders coming back to the scene of the crime.
I'm not sure that I'm prepared for that today, fellas.
I think I'm a bit too traumatized from the last time, to be honest. I don't think I'm quite over it. Maybe need a little bit more therapy before we do that.
That was enough overtime for me for the entire year. So I think we'll just leave it at that. I'm looking forward to something like a 16-14, 16-13. That's close enough.
All right, well, yes, let's get a close game going. Let's hope that it is another close half. But I would like to see what AVANT has on the attack here, because they looked a bit disjointed, especially when they lost a couple of their players there in the first half. So let's see how they play on the attack instead.
Let's see, indeed, Mac, as we head into the second half. All the issues have been resolved nice and quick. Love to see it. 8-7 is the scoreline. To remind you, it's Rooster in the lead at the moment, starting on the CT side for this second half. So we'll see how they go. A little bit of utility there for AVANT in the back pocket of Hugh, but nothing that screams execute at you.
Well, Hugh's just spotting that one out. Danny G unable to land a shot with the USP. And it might end up just being the fake. AVANT just looking for any overextension over towards the other side of the map, but Chell with the P250 able just to get that one tap off. That's a strong. That's also an interesting choice. Going for the P2 dropped over from Netic as well there with that kit. Is the USP not enough for you, Chell? Anyway, that's another pick found, and the bomb is starting to rotate its way in, but now with this two-man advantage, it's looking too good for Rooster. 80k doesn't really have the support from Netic here, so 4v2. Sterling unable to find a easy one, just trying to tap heads, but Netic unable to connect either. P250 looking good, but it's Danny G to do the final couple of bits of damage. 2 kills for him in the end, and a solid pistol coming out from Rooster.
Well, it's the perfect start to the half for Rooster, isn't it? Exactly what Pilsky was talking about. Good way to get your economy in check early on in the piece. Now, they're not over that last hurdle just yet. There's still this force buy that they'll have to deal with, as we know the T side always tends to force buy into the rounds after losing pistol nowadays, and oftentimes you can even get a better buy than what the CTs can. Not so much the case this time for AVANT, just Deagle and Armor, but Rooster needs to be careful. This will be the one that decides a lot, though, for the half. If they can get over the line on this one without losing too many guns, they'll be feeling pretty good. And that's already a great start from Chelios. A nice big spray down onto Sterling.
Oh, and the Famous just trading damage, but Netic on 22 HP now. May just fall to another Deagle shot, and APOC may just be the man to do it. Smoke about to fade here in Con. He's looking to play the timing. Gets up Con for free. Him and Humongous now just looking for anything. But who's that over towards short? Hasn't spotted it. That's going to be ASAP. So we are going to see Bogdan's Law coming through, kind of. You know, Netic lower, just dropping the gun over instead. And now it is going to be Chell with another. Humongous finds him. And there's 25 HP remaining for him. But Hazard and Humongous now need to try to figure out what to do. There's going to be a smoke at the top of Con, allowing the bomb to go down. But in the post plan, it's a 4v2.
Nice grenade to soften Hugh up. Round's not over just yet for AVANT, but they'll need to hit some sharp shots. Rooster playing this one very passively, waiting for a mistake from AVANT. Hugh doesn't make too many there, but he's still overwhelmed. Now it's on to Hazard. 1-on-3. Deagle in hand. And he hits the first, but not the second. And so that's what's going to happen. AVANT lose themselves another round. Rooster, it's fairly expensive anti-force, but got themselves to 10, double digits, and marching towards a map victory right now on Mirage. This is a little hole for AVANT to try and dig themselves out of, but you know, every round that goes past here, Rooster are going to make that a little bit deeper.
And AVANT, with that plant and with the round loss bonus, we are going to see a couple of Deagles purchased up. They realise that with 3 dying in the previous round, Rooster's economy, if they can do more damage to it here in the 18th, then it could be very dangerous for Rooster going forward, and that's AVANT's best chance to get back into the game. But it looks like we are going to see a 2-2 over towards mid and B, and just Blitz lurking solo at a main. So AVANT really just looking everywhere for some picks here on the Deagles.
That's not a fun time for Hugh. Doesn't look like AVANT's going to have too much luck in this round. of a farm round, really, for Rooster here. A couple of SMGs, an MP9 and MP7. There goes Nedic, and there goes Chelios. Not the end of the world just yet for Rooster. As long as they can hang on to these 4 M4s, they'll be pretty happy with how the round has gone. AVANT are kind of keeping themselves in the mix in these rounds, so that's good to see. A lot of noise being made, though, and Danny G is going to hear that. So, Rooster are going to rotate their couple of players over toward B, but this might just be Danny G to finish them both off, and it is. Well done on the B site. 11-7. One step closer for Rooster.
And 5 more is all that's necessary. But that was some great damage. So AVANT, this is a very good chance to swing back in their favour. Danny G and ASAP, they obviously have the buffer in terms of economy there in the coffers. But other than that, it's going to be Rooster having to cop a save in the next. And AVANT now are looking to split into A with this current setup. Coming up Cat quite quickly, looking over the smoke. ADK, I think he was just barely spotted. Sterling, he's hungry. He wants it, but he's missed the opportunity. Second one given. APOC just waiting for that smoke to fade and makes his move, but oh, over in the corner, Nedic, such a strong position. Now they've dealt with the split part. Well, have they really? Because Sterling is just going to continue dishing out the damage. Now the other players out of a main now. They need to cross into the crosshairs of ADK and Shell, and Humongous, he's going to be the first victim out of A there. Hazard playing at the front of triple, and it's a man advantage for Rooster on the retake.
Going to see the smoke go down in connector right now. You've still got Danny G watching mid, so AVANT have anyone outside of the side at the moment. Blitz is on his merry way, but he's going to have to come back to A main. Sterling holding from that position. ASAP drops early. Info's given over. Defuses on right now for Chelios. 2 players defending. There's no way Sterling wins this round from here. Danny G is going to hold it on. And that's 12 up for Rooster. They continue that march forward on the CT side, and they are not having any problems at all.
And Chelios maintaining control of the AWP into round 20. Is looking very good indeed. The economy will allow yet another buy for Rooster. AVANT, they've got that round loss bonus cranking. That is not something you really want to be relying on. So again, we will see. Oh, okay, no, with the plant, we've actually got the full buy coming through. Plenty of utility, and AVANT have another shot. Now let's see what they do here over towards mid. It's going to be APOC just making a bit of noise. 4 men towards the back of apps, maybe a faster approach, but there it is. Aggression from Nedic. We'll find first blood for the round. But it's up to Danny G and ASAP to hold here over towards B.
Not a bad start for Rooster so far. Lots of utility from AVANT. That is going to signify exactly where they're going. And Rooster's ready for it. 13-7. This has been an utter demolition in the second half. Rooster, 1 more on the board. And how many more times am I going to have to say that before the map is over? It really just feels like there's only 3 rounds left.
It really does. Rooster just seemed to have AVANT's number today here on Mirage, but their defense has just been absolutely destructive. And AVANT just cannot seem to get anything going here in the second half, and they need something shortly. The pistol's probably not going to be the answer, but let's see what they can do. Just putting a heavy reliance over towards this mid-control early. AVANT looking like they're focusing on Con. Flash not going deep enough there for CTs. And Hazard is just marching his way forward. Nedic, some nice timing, has the greater weapon here with the M4, but it is going to be the Tech 9 to wreck it.
Oh,
Chell going toe-to-toe here.
Well, these pistols starting to cause a little problem, but ADK is there, solid as ever by triple. And it'll be Blitz to take him down, but he's done his job. 2 for 1, bringing some semblance of control back into this round for Rooster. That's a nice shot from Blitz, but too many Rooster players to deal with. 14-7. 1 step forward, 0 steps back right now for Rooster. Is the name of this second half. They've not lost a single round.
A very solid performance. And on Mirage as well. This will be the first time that Rooster have beaten AVANT in the last 3 months on this map, if they can take it. So that certainly goes to show their form right now. And again, Rooster, we are going to see them happily just going for a bit of mid-presence. Some early utility to stop any B-split coming through. But Sterling just trying to use that utility to work out for him. Danny G with a bit of an overextension there. Just trying to change it up, go for the unders push instead. That's going to be 2 CTs lost already, and now this is AVANT's chance to get back into the game.
You say that, but Netic hasn't gotten himself involved in this round just yet, and he's been the real danger man for Rooster. He's going to peek out. AVANT should deal with him, but won't. Netic, 5 HP. He'll re-peek and kill Sterling as well. Are you serious?
No.
What am I watching?
Man's on fire. 2 kills already, and he's hunting for more. And AVANT, they don't want to drop the ball. They don't want to be losing these man advantages over and over. It's happened so many times this map so far. And it makes you worried going forward in the series. But speaking of forward, it's AVANT. They're looking for the B-split. Humongous. Some good utility to filter out the corners. Looks like that's going to be one over towards Van as now the short push comes through. Flash straight to bench, but it does nothing. Chell fully focused over towards Apps now. May just go for the jiggle in a moment. But how's the timing? Hazza. Not going to miss that one. Crucial shot. ASAP as well going to be spotted there at Van. Now they know where he is. There it is. It's Blitz to open up the B site. It's a 2-on-1. Netic, the man, he's already found 2 himself. Molly goes into a great position. Comboed with the nade. Gets a bit of damage done. And he's going to go on a quick rotation over towards short. But if you have a look at the money here, it might just be the save that Rooster's going for. You've got Danny G just with 650, Chell with 950. So 1 gun carried across will allow ASAP to maybe drop an M4. And that's exactly what we're going to see. So big damage to the economy of AVANT. And it's just a matter of, yeah, they've got this round. But if they drop the ball in terms of keeping their players alive, their economy is going to be cooked in a matter of rounds.
Yeah, I mean, you really got to think about how close that even gets, despite a 2-man advantage for AVANT at the start of that round. In the back pocket here for Rooster next round. Netic can drop a rifle, or buy himself a rifle, I suppose. ASAP's got enough to drop, so it shouldn't be a terrible buy for Rooster. Almost felt like they tried to force a little bit too much in the early stages of that last round, trying to get this over and done with. That's not the kind of thing that you're going to get away with against AVANT. Yes, they're looking a little bit all over the place at the moment, but Rooster certainly can't start counting the chickens before they hatch. Apoc's going to go quickly out of Palace. They haven't seen him. 80k's down. Chelios needs to hold strong. At least he's managed to get 1.
Okay.
That is a very fast round from AVANT, and it's totally caught Rooster off guard.
So Rooster just thinking they're invincible towards their main. Probably thought ASAP was covering there, but a huge flash coming out is just going to blind him for so long. And there it is. Danny G now in a 1v3. Only has that MP9. Might be able to get that M4 at stairs. But even so, it's looking very unlikely. APOC just taking the ropes. Really looking to put AVANT back into the game.
It's going to take more than a couple of rounds to put AVANT back into this game. Still going to be 14-9 down, so it's a really Herculean task to come back from a deficit like this. But we speak about Rooster being a streaky team, and if they're going to have those good streaks, they might be able to get to 14, but then there can be those bad streaks where they'll drop 5 or 6 rounds in a row. So wouldn't necessarily count this one over and done with yet.
Did you see his little maneuver at the end there?
I did not.
So he just waited for the bomb to explode, smashed it over towards A main, and managed to pick up an AWP.
That's nice.
So Danny G using his brain there, and using his position to happily save that AWP across and give Chell a chance to cause some extra damage here in round number 24.
Could be a difference maker, but Chelios over toward A. And Danny G's been spotted crossing. Oh.
See you later. Oh, he gets away. 11 HP. That is ridiculous. So AVANT, it looked like they were trying to go for the faster approach again, because it certainly worked over towards the A site last round. However, this time, they've drawn out these rotations. They've got 3 men over towards B. But Netic not going to find the timing there, as Humongous happily just taps his head off. And it looks like we are going to see the regroup at mid. And maybe the split B. They've still got control of apartments there with Blitz up at back apps. But AVANT, they're just trying to use every second here.
Even if AVANT do go toward A, someone's going to go through connector. That gives Chelios a chance with this AWP.
They might have heard the scope, though, and that could have been what's triggered this three-man rotation back through T-spawn.
Chelios on his merry way, though. So is Danny G.
But Haz is hearing everything. That's the thing you need to remember here. The full stack. It's going to be like 4 men over towards the A site.
AVANT doesn't seem to be too concerned about it. They're heading in that direction anyway. ASAP down early on in the piece, but Chelios is the linchpin. So is ADK. They haven't checked him. APOC's going to be a free kill. Bomb plant can't go down. 18 seconds. Now time becomes a factor. Another kill for the USP, and Danny G surely gets blitz here. He has. It's unbelievable. AVANT have found a way to throw the round away. They can't win it from here. Surely not. Bomb plant can't go down. ADK's dead, but Danny G will survive, and Rooster onto map point.
How have they done that? Just not clearing anything on site, trying to get that plant to work. And was it ADK there at default who just stopped the bomb from going down? I think he got another at stairs and then just danced around default for long enough so Hugh couldn't plant. What a round coming out from Rooster. That is high-quality discipline.
I don't know about that one from AVANT. They just didn't seem to be there at all. Maybe they didn't hear those rotations coming across. They definitely didn't expect that many players. Like, they killed ASAP. They thought, well, you know what? Maybe we got the site. Guess not. 15-9. I mean, surely AVANT can't come back from this 6 rounds in a row. The way that they've been looking on this T side, it's just, you can't say that they will. They might get another round or two here, but something special is going to have to happen for them to come back and equalize this. Mid control at least for AVANT this round, so they've got options now.
It's a matter of patience. And AVANT, they just want to try and make a correct decision because so many times they have just made the wrong call. They've just gone the wrong direction. And it really is a bit of a travesty.
Slow creep back over toward the B bomb site right now for AVANT. Danny G remains unchecked so far. Hugh might have spotted him. Hazza had the info. That's good work for AVANT. A little bit better than last round, but ASAP trying to hold on to the bomb site. Won't get too much done. Medic at least trades down. 3 on 3. And Rooster on the quick rotate.
Oh, baits the shot out. Chell just trying to make his way back in, but you can see AVANT, they're very worried about this round. They're very worried about the position. Boost over the top to try with the off angle, but Sterling will make his way back over towards the bench now. ADK, he's just silent in apartments, and he's going to be on the lurk. Blitz eventually spotting him. He needs to win this. Jumping out the window, no way. It's all up to Hazza, who's had a rough performance, and there it is, the perfect retake. Plenty of time for the defuse, and Rooster will get this one done 16-9. Absolute ridiculousness.
Yeah, ridiculous indeed. First map goes the way of Rooster, and AVANT's woes in DreamHack Summer continue. We'll talk all about that when we come back from the break.